Hello. So in the last section, I showed you how you can edit a recorded video and get it ready for publishing. And this was the use case we talked about. Take a recorded lecture, edit it, and get it ready for publishing, and get this transcripts as a SRT file. You can also download the transcript as a text file if you need to create notes that go along with your lectures. So that was all part of the download text option. So the last session today that we're going to cover is where you take a recorded lecture and create small segments from it. So you have, say, an hour-long recorded lecture, and you want to create 3 or 4 different 10 or 15-minute segments from it that you want to create different units that students can watch asynchronously. So that's the use case that we're going to show you how to do today, and I'll show you multiple ways of doing that, and also show you some advanced editing options in here. So let's go back to that webinar that we worked on last time, and you can see basically we have this 37-minute long lecture, that webinar that we had recorded. So I'm gonna do a simple thing first. I'm gonna just say, hey, let's make copies of this project, and each one will be a different section. So we'll just say, you can go under my projects and you can say duplicate, and I'll make two copies of it, and it makes basically a copy of the whole project, so you don't have to upload your video again. You can just use it as is, and I'll make one more copy. So I have this. The number 3 was the original one. Then I have the number 6 and the number 7. So let's take number 6 and chop it up. And what I'll do is I'll say number 6 is maybe only the first. It'll be the first unit, maybe the first 10 minutes of my lecture. So I can go in there. I can do one of two things. I can say, hey, I want to select up to here, and I can create a highlight from it. So this is only 4 minutes. I can just keep going. Add this to the highlight. So that'll about 12 minutes. So I say that's a good unit for me to publish to the student. And there's a simple way. You can just say, okay, I'm gonna use this and create one highlight video, 12-minute long video, and it will actually it will ignore everything that is not highlighted. If we generate this. If you press on generate highlights video, it will just generate this one highlight video in this case. So that's one way to do this. Another way to do this might be that let's go ahead and remove all the highlights and say, hey, since I already made a copy of this, what I can do is I can say, okay, this part of the lecture, from here on, I want to delete. And so I can just delete it. So now I have a 22-minute unit remaining. I can even make it shorter, basically chop out parts of it. So that decision you have to make, what you want to call units, and just delete parts of the video that you don't want to include in this unit. So now you have this smaller part of the lecture, which is only 21 minutes long, and you can basically generate a video from this part of the lecture. So that's one. Those are two different ways to generate simple highlights. You can use that. You can use you can either delete what you don't want, or you can highlight what you want and generate videos from that. And this is useful for generating smaller segments from one long lecture. Again, I remind you, like it will remind the brand settings that I set up. It will preserve all the brand settings in the final video. So any intro I have set up, any outros, logo, if I say I want to show this subtitles, then it's gonna use my brand color, my brand fonts, and the color scheme that I set up in brand settings to put that in place. So that's one bit that I wanted to show you. Now let's say I actually even want a smaller video. So I'm gonna delete most of it and just have this bit left over. It's a minute long, 1 minute 21 second video. And I want to show you a few other things that you can do with these small segments, or you can do that even with the entire video. There's this idea of customized video that I wanted to show you next. So customized video will show this video in the form of a storyboard. This is a very similar storyboard that when we covered the text to video, we saw the storyboard here. So you can see the storyboard here, and you can see the individual sentences shown here. So again, the idea is each sentence will be a single scene here. In this case, the scene will continue to show the video that was recorded. But one thing that sometimes you might want to do is, even though it's showing in scene 4, for example, you can use video to grow your business and to change lives. This is something he's talking about. So maybe instead of showing this PowerPoint slide and this person's face, I want to show something else. I want to show, I can go into the visual section. And remember, we have a huge library of stock content. So we can search for video, and I can say, maybe I want to use something like this. So it will be still him talking, but it will show this part as the video. And I can say, actually, I want to continue it to the next couple of scenes. So I can link these scenes together. I can say, hey, I want to link scene 4 to scene 5 and 6. And then all of them will show the same visual playing, and then it'll come back to my recorded lecture. So this is an interesting way to make the video recordings more engaging and more fun for your audience. And you don't want to do this in the entire 30-minute lecture, but for some small segments that you want to extract, you can make them more interesting by doing this, by using B-roll content. And again, the B-roll content can be also things that you upload. It doesn't have to be things you search. You can take your PowerPoint slides and you can replace that. You can put your own videos in there. You can do other things in this B-roll. So that's this part of the customization. Some of the other things you can do in this customization also is the styles in which the text is displayed. So say you want a tinted background or subtitles with no background, you can make those changes as well here. In this case, because my font is all set up by the brand settings, it may not be able to change it here, but we do have an option here to say, I can come in there and say, I want 50% opacity. And so it's a slightly tinted background I'm going to show you, and I can make that change here. So I do that, I apply it, and then I say, when I'm happy with it, I can apply it to all scenes. So that's the other small bits that you can do here. And then one other thing that you can do in when you're editing this in this advanced mode, in this customized mode, is you can change the format ratio of the original video. You can say, hey, even though my original video was landscape, I want to create a square video for LinkedIn. And again, I'll have to go scene by scene and move things around because my PowerPoint slides may not allow it. So this may or may not work depending on what kind of content you have. If it's just somebody talking, a single person talking, it's easy to then go into there and move that. But if it's PowerPoint, then it's hard to. It may not fit into the square format. So that's some of the other things you can do in this whole section of customized videos. And that's kind of the last bit of the training that I wanted to share today. Finally, when you're ready again to generate the video, you go in there and you can generate the video, and it will generate this one video as an MP4 that you can download as we've done before. So we covered 4 different use cases here today. We covered the idea of creating short faceless videos from a text script where you used robotic voices. We covered the idea of short faceless videos from text and a recorded voiceover. So that's another use case. And then the third use case that we covered is you have recorded lectures that you want to publish it, but you want to clean it out before you publish it. So that's another use case. And the final use case that we covered that I just showed you in this unit is you can take recorded lectures and create small segments from them that you can then create smaller units from a single recording. So that's my series. That concludes the series of training for Pictory for educators. Thank you.